So this cable. Let's check that. Okay. Really good. Oops. Sorry, just checking something. Hello and welcome to my first live stream. So this will be just a test and generally getting everything sorted out. So I'm sort of out of it at the moment. So this is going to be more just a small thing I do occasionally, just to do general stuff. And this is what it's all going to be done in this one room. So there's not much I can do. And at the moment I've only got a small camera on one display and the mic. These are also used in my other streaming where I stream gaming, so this will go at the moment. So sorry if it's a little bad at the moment. So what I do generally here is all sorts of stuff. So I normally live game or do very over gaming when I'm on free, and also I do a lot of PC stuff. So either teaching, showing how to do general stuff. Like for instance, I'm going to be doing some VMing on my main system here, which is all linked together. It's one screen here, and I'm on the second screen on here. So I'll be showing how to do for instance, I've got install XP for certain stuff and a few other stuff also. Also, I'm going to show how to update a few OSs that have come out, because I've got a test system under the desk here at the moment, which I use for general testing of software, since it's an old system, so it's pretty good. Also, it's used for cloning drives and wiping drives and doing that, since it doesn't bog my main system down. So that's what I'm doing. I'll be doing those later date, but for today I'm going to be doing these two laptops here. Well, one, and the other one I'll be doing later on, but I want to show you the differences. So these two are my main. This one is my main laptop, so this is my general one, and this is about 2 years old, so it's a good reference. And this one has come by for someone, because I occasionally get this when people ask me to do stuff, since I know the majority of stuff. So I'll try doing live streams of those as well to show you how to repair it. This one is a very old laptop, and I need to do a few basically clean up and change the OS. But I'm just going to show you what the difference is on the two. So this one's a Fujitsu Siemens Rightly 2005, and this is a pretty good system. So i5, 4 gigs of RAM, I'll probably upgrade to 8, and a 500 gig hard drive, but I've actually ordered a solid state to give it a bit more quicker, and I don't need 500 for this type of thing because I've got this main system. I only use this if I'm going away for something. So I'm going to show you the differences. So this is a general 15-inch full-size keyboard, which I pretty like because you've got the number pad. And it's just a general thing, USB 3, SD drive. The thing I like about this is it's still got the hard drive, particularly light. I don't know why they're removing that now, stupid. Because if you have a system coming in that needs to, like software related, and that you can't see what's going on with the electricity highlight, or they put it in an odd place. So it's still good at doing it. But there's another reason I like this laptop, because I'll show you on the other side. So I'm getting used to this, turning myself on there. So for instance, you can still take the battery out for doing the diagnostic, but it's still got access doors. So the hard drive sits here, the RAM sits here, but the thing I like about this, and also the Novas do this, there's a little access door here. If you take this access door off, which I'll show you, you can actually access the cooling system. And that is something you need to worry about when you get a laptop, especially if you put it on carpets or if you're a smoker or pets. This is the cooling outlet, and this is crazy to get blocked up. I've seen it a few times and it overheats the laptop. The only way you can access this on majority of laptops is to strip it. With this, you just open this up, which I'll show on this one another time. So when I get the drive in, it's all together, and it's easy to clean. So I'm doing that at a later date, probably sometime in the week. But this is the main one. So it's got it's a 15-inch. It's a standard HP. Before they went bad, I was saying I won't touch those because they're stupid. mainly break, and it's like trying to get into Fort Knox in one of these. Believe me, because they. But this is one at the time. This is that 2008, so it's got good life, but it needs to have the OS change. So same thing, battery. But this still has the access doors. This is to the memory, and this is to the hard drive. I will be swapping this out for a smaller drive just for temporary to get going, because we'll be doing that later on. But a lot of them don't do this anymore, so you have to literally take the thing apart to get to the even to replace the drive if it's not solid stated on, which I've seen now. So this is 2008. Still got an optical drive. This thing's still got dial-up. Around the time it was still doing that, and it's just general laptop. Running this runs Vista. That's one reason I need to swap it over, because it doesn't work anymore. Might work 10, but we're putting an OS on now just to do it for general browsing, so it'd be okay for the job they're doing for now. But we'd be getting a new system for 10 later on. So it's just a stock market. So I need to change the hard drive here, but also I might need to check the coordinate system, because it's over 10 years. It needs a cleanup. But the problem is you have to completely take the laptop top cover off to gain access to this. And I know some laptops are even worse. You've got to take the system board out to get to the fan, because it's upside down. Well, I think I had a laptop in before, which was a Dell, and that was even worse, because where the hard drive sat was in here, and then you can look for service guides. The only way to get the hard drive out is to take the board out, which is stupid, because normally you just have a door, it's up the right way, you can just put it out, open it at the top and remove it. But that was the first time I've seen that. Most of the time when I do data transfers, I prefer to take the drive out of the laptop and put it into another system that's directly to the board. It's a bit quicker than using docks I've got through here, so that you can leave the machine to do its work without disturbing the system or having all loads of machines together. So yeah, that's one thing I've noticed. First time I come across. So let's work on this one. So you always disconnect the mains. It's already gone. Take the batteries out. Or yeah, you should always do this so that you don't accidentally do something instantly without turning it on, especially if you're taking it apart. And like I say, this is a general laptop. I need to take up the hard drive here, so I've got a magnetic screwdriver here. Do apologise if you can't see anything because the camera's on the window and I don't have zoom or anything else. So I'm going to try and do this upside down like this. Actually, can I do it? Stretchy. The light's not good, I don't know. I'm just trying to do this right. So let me do this on my. So that's that one. These is clip-ons. That's the mechanical drawer, and on the label here is just information about the wireless antenna. A lot of laptops have this. You've got the model number and that because normally it's buried. And this is the hard drive here. So it's a standard 2.5. So we need to. Oh, this one's got screwed in. That's pretty good. Some of them have another screw you've got to take out. But this one you simply just pull the tab. Actually, no. Let's have a look. It's been a while since I've done a laptop out of these machines. Oh, it is just tight, that's all. Been in there for a very long time. Oh no, wrong way round. There we go. And I find there's a lot of older HPs and that have a priority connector here, so there's normally something on the laptop, on the hard drive you've got to take off. Some manufacturers do this, easy clip or anything else. So that's that connector there. This is access to the memory. Now, I mean, this machine has got maximum memory of 2 gigs. You can't get any higher than that. But at the time the machine was built, this XP was still around, and maybe Vista was coming up. But to be honest, with Vista, you needed at least 4 gigs to get that going. And it's pretty stupid that some manufacturers did this with some boards, but email system down here, which is an Athlon 2, designed XP and it works with Vista, that can go to 16 if you can find 8 gigs of DDR2. It's up to 4 and it works fine, even 10's running on it, sort of. So I'll just show you with this one here, where the RAM sits. I know I'm trying to do this in 2 positions, so that's why I'm doing odd things. I'll probably do a non-live video on a laptop one time to close up. So under the memory module, there's 2 memory modules here, which 1 gig each, DDR2. CMOS battery, this will just clear the battery you had problem with the CMOS. Won't delete the passwords, but if you do something stupid, which I rarely do. And this is the wireless antenna if you need to upgrade it or change it. So that's what that is. So this is what's the general thing. Now, if you need to access the cooling system, which I can't do because I notice there's 2 hex screws here. I've got to remove these to get the board off. I haven't got the tool for that at the moment, so I won't be able to do the cooling system. But it's not in a dusty environment, so it's fine, but I would just clean it. You would have to take all the screws out, but these are the... I don't often see, but anyways. So the memory modules are here. You need to upgrade the memory, it's here. Wi-Fi... I like it says they replace with HP spare. Just put anyone in it as long as it fits. And the antennas go around the display before the thing. That's the general things for this laptop, but I just need to change the hard drive. But that is the most annoying part. So I already ramble. But yeah, I didn't see that before, but hex screws. Well, I've seen worse. But like I say, this is some of the old laptops that you can still access doors. I think some new laptops have it, but not many these days. You literally have to take all the screws out and prise the top off to getting access to the hard drive, even the RAM. If the RAM's upgradable, because some of it's size built on the board. But yeah. Oh yeah, to make them as they were. This is out 8 years ago. So this is a, most of you might know, laptop hard drive. So this is a Western Digital 160 gigabyte hard drive. Okay, at the time, they didn't put much on it, so it's fine. It's dated 22nd of Jan 2008, so it's not too bad for the drive. But yeah, this is a general laptop drive. And this is not too bad for this, because where it's sitting, it doesn't get too hot. But I've seen a few laptops, I mean HPs, where they put this too close to the cooling system, and these get very hot, and if these get they degrade fast like that. So yeah, so you need to change the hard drive. You need to take out the caddy. So this is a general caddy, all varied in things, and there's 4 screws holding it in. So I need to take those out. I might have to try and get the case off actually. I think I've got enough time. I think I've got pliers somewhere for that. Let's change the drive. So that's the caddy out. And this is the hard drive, and you can see there's an actual connector here, which is priority to the laptop, so you just put it off. And as you can see, it's a standard SATA connector. And this is just like a little adapter which you use to change, put the priority of these. Well, HP do this a lot with some systems. Don't know lately because I haven't played with one, but yeah, you lose this, you have to order a new one and do that. And also, if you've got to recycle the machine and you're going to destroy the drive, make sure you. Well, what I say is, this is an important part. You lose this, you won't be able to do anything with the laptop. You have to order parts. So that's that drive. Still works, but it's got data on it, and I don't want to be messing around with it. So I've got a hard drive here for now, just to get them going. It's a Hitachi 80 gig hard drive. Okay for what they're doing, they're not going to do anything else with it. And it's divided to 2007. It still works okay, but for what they need it for, it's fine. It's just a stopgap because it only uses you need to browse something, and it was like throwing important stuff on it. So that just goes back onto any drive, which is one good thing. And then it goes back on the same way on the cradle. And just put all the screws back in. This one doesn't have any order, but sometimes they have numbers on it saying which one you put in first, which is what you can do. Don't worry about me, I'll just check in and make sure everything's still up. So that's that, yep. And these, if I do live streams of that, they'll be always up. So if people want to watch, that's fair enough, but I'm only starting, so I don't get much at the moment. So that's this one. Also, I'm using the new streaming software to test it, so far it's fine. Yeah, stream's okay. I have to occasionally switch over to make sure I need it because I've got streaming on the background here. So that's that. Well, that will go back into the drive there, but I think I've got tools to remove these hex screws. I just remembered. If I can get the case off, then we can show you how the cooling system. Actually, let me just check something. Let's see if I can get this. If I can get these hex screws off, I'm about to then gain access to the cooling system. If I can't do it, then I won't bother. As I was saying about these laptops, to do maintenance on them is pretty tough. You have to do a lot of work with them, but I only do this if it's an old laptop, or if I notice that the cooling system is always kicking in and it's getting very hot, and I know that it's blocked. It's normally on old laptops. And most of them are pretty good, can gain access, but like I say, some of them are bad. So I'm going to see if I can get these screws off. I've got other toolkits here. If I can get these off. But for this, I'm looking carefully, I can't see what hooks these on. Looks to me they were just something they were going to add on another board, but didn't bother hooking it up. Ah. And they're not tight in, that's good. So I'm about to do this. But it's just to show you how bad it is to get these open. Oh no, I'm not showing you this, but there's a couple of hex screws here that you need to remove. Which I've never seen before. It looks like there was something that was supposed to be fitted, but not, or it could be something on the other side of the board. Doubt it, because there's got holes. It's risen up the board, and these are normally put in if you're going to put something in a standoff. And I can see like a circuitry it would have fitted it one time. So I think it would have been a Bluetooth option, or yeah, normally a Bluetooth option. If you don't have Bluetooth, it would have been at the time. And at the time, Bluetooth boards are separate, but these modern little cards have been built in now. So like the one I have here, so pretty good. But these days, old systems used to have it a separate option. You add it to the board, so that's what these standards are probably for. And they just put it in. Yeah, so I'm just using the pliers to get these off. It's a bit tight. There you go. Stupid hex screws. So yeah, so I'm about to take the board out and show you how this is done. So now this has to go in a certain order. So battery out. Hard drive has to come out because that's what it says, but I don't know if it needs to. But I'm afraid in the board it says, let's see, optical drive. Obviously got to take the optical drive out. The thing about this has got labels here which screws goes where. So there's a screw here. It's got a little item of the optical drive, and screws somewhat held down by screws, so it's good. So that way. So it's got screwed there, and these just clip out by pushing. That's the optical drive, and these also have a priority connector. All laptops have this. It's a SATA, but it's not like a general. And this is manufactured January 2008, so it's actually a 2008 mob system. It's got the model number and everything else on it, and it says HP Hewlett Packard labelled on, but I see an LG. They're not built by AG. Sorry, I do that because I have a coffee in it. So that's that. It says there, take the optical drive out, and then I'm going to take the switch cover off, keyboard, and the display. So switch assembly. So in the front here. So to get the front case off, I had to take the keyboard off, the switch assembly, which is like a little clip here. Even got to take this display off, which is odd. I might not be able to if it's not hooked in underneath. It's probably hooked underneath somewhere. If not, I see when I take the actual keyboard off. But you have to do this because there's 3 screws in here and underneath as well to get this off, which is access the board. But like I say, with the other one I have, he's opened a door. I had to do this a lot, and I think I had another laptop in before which the bottom came off, which was good, so you can access the calling system. But a lot of them are top loaded, but some are very simple, like keyboard out and then this, some display, and some you just click the front off. But just looking at the guide here, so doing it, it's easier than doing it. So switch guide first, it says. So you've got to take out this screw, and a screw here to get the switch out. So we do that. Actually, what I'm going to do is I've got a little thing here for screws, and I can use. It's very handy for that, and there's loads of compartments. So I can put the compartment in which one goes what. So optical drive in that one with the hex screws. And I'm going to put here the display. That way it's easy to group, and they're different sizes because of the depth of the screw. This way magnetic screwdriver comes in handy because you can pull them out. Okay, that's that. A lot of my service guys have some reading. Most of the time I can do it myself. I'd like to try and make sure I get it right because I don't want to be damaging it. Because it's not my own, but they're not bothered anyways because it's too old. But I do this with any laptop that's old. So I do that, and then you have to... Oh, buggy. You have to do something like a flathead screwdriver or something that's not going to damage it. I've done it many times, so it's fine. Let me get one. It's because I'm normally held in by clips. So then we have to go under the actual laptop. There we go. One on each side, there's another one here. Just be gentle because these can break, especially with age. Loads of clips on these. This says spring forward, but I would suggest just being very gentle with this. There's another under there. Just get your fingers underneath it and just another one under here somewhere probably. Oh, well, that's annoying. I think that one was the actual keyboard one here. Oops. That's not badly labelled. Yeah, that's just keyboard one. So I think it was that one. Yeah, picture's not very good, but yeah. Some silver ones here. Let's see. Oh, you my little bastard. Sorry, I might be swearing, but let's see. That's it. Just being very gentle with the plastic so I don't break it. There's those little silver ones here, so let's see. Here's one. Let's take you out. There we go. There are two silver ones on the bottom to take it off. What an annoying little thing. Well, that's what you get when you're doing it. Yeah, that's not going to come off at the end there. Any other screw? Nope. I think it's just stuck on. But that's what you have to do when you're doing it. If it doesn't come off, you may have missed a screw or something, or anything else. There you go, it's just clipped. So the little thing comes off. So there's a little. So I'll remove this cable here. And there's a little board here that just goes to an LED, which tells you when the number lock's on. Here was the actual cable sits, and it looks like it's just a fixture on it. And it goes to a little LED here, which goes to this key here, which tells you the number lock's on. That's what it is. That's on here, but the rest of it is just a plastic display, and that's that. So that does access it. There's two speakers here, and there's a cable here for the display and the. Oops, sorry, the display and the. No, sorry. There's two cables coming in, which is the to the two Wi-Fi antennas. There's also one going up here, I think, also, which goes to the camera system here. There's a camera on this, so when they start getting them in, the mic and camera. There's another thick one here, which goes to the power for the display and also display VGA itself. So that's what that is. Labels that pop off after the ears. Don't worry about that. So that's the first task. Then I've got to remove the keyboard, so same thing before, you have to let's remove the keyboard. So there are 1, 2 3. They're all labelled with a keyboard icon, so that's handy. And yeah, I'll also show you this because occasionally you have to change the keyboards on some laptops, especially how old they are, when the keys start fading. So that's another way of doing it. But with yeah, keyboards we need to occasionally change to this 1, 2, and then there's another one here. The reason you want to change the keyboard is because, like I say, they break after time, so you can just do that. They're easy to do. I just stop doing that. I used to do it forward. So these are held in by little clips here, so lift them up and they slide it forward, and that comes off. That's your keyboard. There's a model number here, so you can either look for the model number here to look for it, or if you look for the parts number, you can find one straight away. It's third party and everything else, so it's fine. Also, you can find the region that fits yours, because they're all universal, just clip in. So this is a UK one, so it needs a UK one, and it's like a little ribbon that you open a couple of connectors, and that's it. That's interesting. There, it just pops in. That's it. So this little edge, and that's it. And that's a keyboard, so you can buy these easily. If they still do them, I think it should do on some models. So that's that. And then that's that there. And so far that there, and that's the corner system there. Thankfully, this is the right way up, so I can see the fan spinning. Yes, it's easy access. So I don't have to take the board out, which is one good thing. Next thing you have to do is remove this front case, and we're going to have to remove the assembly because I can see it's screwed actually on the front case itself. I can see it here, so this will have to come up first before we can take this out. Some you can just take this off without removing this, but this is a bit of a pain because there's loads of screws holding it in, and you've got to be careful where the cables are, and also rerouting it all. So we're going to do this next, but I've got to remove the assembly. Oh, I'm just trying to find this. Remove the display assembly. So I need to disconnect the display, which is this one here. Just checking to make sure if I need to actually take this off. Yeah, it looks like it's for the entire unit. Bloody hell. So I'm just checking to make sure I'll get this right. I don't want to be putting stuff I don't need to. Display panel, Microsoft camera. Okay, so I've got to take off. So I need to take this little connector under here off. It's just one big fat connector. Okay, so that's the display. It's one thick connector here. We'll also remove the mic, which is under here, which is a little one here. It's very gentle, but it's just priority connectors here. Then I've got to take off the that's interesting. I've got to take off the camera here, and then we're stuck on but sticky tape and all sorts. I'm going to reroute it here, here, here. That's that. And I've got to take the antennas off. So that's into the board here. Take these off here, and then it's just reroute it, and then feed it over. Check it's still receiving. So that's that. So that's the little thing. Like I say, I'll try to stream live stream as possible, and I won't edit my videos for general things, so I'll show you exactly. So if I make a mistake, you know what to do. If you do. But so far I've done it so many times, it's not often I get them wrong, but it's normally when I'm testing software doing something that I didn't realise or learn something new. But this is what's general. Also, like I say, I've got a couple of things to build, and I've got a couple of towers to build, so I'll show you how to build them and do that. That's what I normally do, so yeah. So that's that. So take all the cables out. Sorry, I don't have an overshaped camera. I don't want to move this camera because it's stupid. So that's all the cables up. There's like runs here and everything else. So that's that. So that's the main display. That's the microphone. This is the camera. This is the antennas. That was to the power switch, not to the keyboard LED light. And that's all the cables you need to do to get this off. And then you just take up 4 screws here and here. Now the reason why there's 1, 2, 3, 4 screws that hold this on. So this is actually part of this. It looks like the metal case is part of this front. Some laptops I see if you've got the screws in the bottom, you can leave this on and take the front off because it's like clamps in here. But it looks like this is actually part of the entire assembly. But I have done the laptop before when I had to take the display off and change the LCD display because it was cracked. So I've done a few cheap repairs, and I basically took this apart, found the model number, and just ordered a new one. And that's what they've got now, and they're still using it. So that's pretty good. And that was a Vista machine, but I upgraded that to 4 gigs of RAM for 10, and then they're still using it. It's only used for business, like works. It's fine. And actual fact, that's what this tower is. I built that for them years ago, about 10 years ago. Well, actually 8 years ago. And my XP was fine, but they wanted it something small, so I got the old tower, so it was provided for me to do testing, which I'll show you probably tomorrow in the week about that. Or maybe later tonight after work, because I'm working a bit. Also work, so yeah. So yeah, I do ramble, but that's what you do in live streams, and I prefer doing this way. But yeah, I do all these stuff at work easily. I've gotten so used to doing this, it's easy to do now. I prefer if the laptop still runs to keep it going, rather than. So that's that. So that's the LCD display. Let's see, there's a couple of brackets here. You can take this apart and change the display if you crack it. Yeah, there's I've seen people who crack this if you drop it on a hard floor and it cracks here, or you put something on the keyboard, which I've seen. But these are pretty cheap for old systems, and you can either buy like this, or you can just buy the display which is behind here, and you simply just do this and take it apart, which I've done. So that's going over there. And then a desk like this is ideal because you have plenty of rest space. So that's the general. So I need to take the top case off. And this has a lot of screws in it, so yeah. So that's all the rest of the screws that are on the bottom. Oh, that was that one, the little arrow. Huh. Yeah, loads of screws to remove. So let's see. They're all different lengths as well. No, they're all the same. Well, that's handy. Some have different lengths. That's because if you have like monitors on the other side, it sort of interferes. So put that there. That's that one. I've done this a few times, and the system's always worked. So yeah. That's a handy little thing, but most of them, some of them you have to do this to actually change it. And actually no, I don't often do some where I take the monitor off, because monitors normally got its own brackets, like a thicker bracket here, and then sort of 2 screws here, and then the rest on the top. So, and they're normally held in by the chassis itself. So you don't have to take the monitor normally, we can just open the door and that's it. But something like this, you have to take the display off to get the board off, which is a pain. And these two here, which is a nuisance, but at least it's still serviceable. Some are really bad at serviceable, you can't get into them. Well, you can get into them, but it's a faff, and especially with some places where the hard drives keep failing on some. This is saying about HPs now. I've had a few problems with them where the board either dies straight away or hard drive dies of unnecessary progress because where they're situated too close to a cooling system. And it's just difficult to get any access to them. Even upgrading the RAM is difficult because they're normally not on a door like this. You have to literally take the top off to get into it. So that's one of the things I don't like. You do make it difficult these days to service. So that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, that one. Do I take that? One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine. Yep, 9. One in the actual hard drive case. That's why I have to remove the hard drive because there's one underneath it on the board. Okay, so I've got 2, 3 Philips 20. That's interesting. Right. And then 3 more here. They're very puny, so this is why this is ideal because all these screws are tiny. Use this. Most of the time, I don't do much, I just hold it together, but some of them I do hold critical components together, so something like this or this is ideal for different compartments, so I don't mixing them up and figuring where they all go, but you can just put them in a container or separate containers, but otherwise would do that. So those there, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 6 screws up here. I'm not showing this over here, so I don't have it over camera, and you can see what I'm doing anyways. But this is a pain. This is a pain to do. To do all this just to get to one area. Okay, the axes have been removed. And a few more on the top, which I hold the top on. So I need to remove another cable here, which is down this part here, which is for the touch display. You know, mouse or touchy thing, or whatever you want to call it. And then I'm going to remove 2 more screws, which are here. So there's one up here. That's the other one. And there's another one down at the top here. And then finally there are another silver one here and a silver one here. This is a divot, so this type of screwdriver is ideal to get into it. And that's the so then to take the actual cover off, which is clipped in, so you need another flat product and remove it again. Being very gentle not to break any clips due to the age. And you just work away and gently prise it without do anything. This is a bit tough to see, but so you have to do this and then just gently go underneath it just to do it. Ooh, there's a bit of dust coming out there when after doing that. Just a bit gentle here, popping and that, which is good. Sort of like prizing. You can get specialized prizing tools for it as well, but I don't do this often. So, general, once you get it going, also remember don't force it. Might have missed a screw or something, but if all the screws there should pop off. There you go. And if you're using a flat screwdriver, don't deep in too much, otherwise you can damage the main board. So that's that. So stopping this. What is stopping this? Oh. Mr. Screw, see a little bastard up here. Sorry my language. That's why that's not coming off. There we go. There's another connector here for the power switch. There you go, so that's the assembly. All you need to do is you're going to remove this. So that's that. And that's the main system board. So this is the coordinate system, and it just needs a general dust, and it's actually pretty clean looking inside. I can see the LED lights up. This is handy to have. It's pretty clean on the actual intakes and exhaust. So yeah, so there's this area here. You can use can there and general things to clean it, but I'll use a brush normally to clean these out. I've got can here, but I can't remember where I put it. But if to get the rest of this out, I would have to take the main board out to get this out. But this is not too bad, so it's pretty good. You can do can here without opening it to blow it, but the problem is if it's very thick, that will just come back into here, and there's no point. So it's advisable to take this out and clean it. I'll show you on the other laptop when I get it done, because you can access the cooler, and I can show you where the full cooler looks like. This is a priority one, but they're normally a bit bigger, and I can show you where it gets clogged. But for now, this is just a general clean for this. So yeah. So this is the general. But yeah, so what it is, there's the CPU here. There's like a cooler sits here, and then there'll be pipes going into this part here. There's like a copper pipe with the heat is there, and the fan blows off, and this will change speed depending on how often it's used. But if this gets clogged up, it gets nasty. Especially a smoker, I've seen that, and boy, are they dusty when you remove this, like a thin layer of dust, basically clogging it, and that's why it would overheat and stuff. So yeah, that's the ideal thing to do with these, is to do that. Also, the fan fails, so you can change the fans without doing the entire cooler, so that's another good thing to do. Okay, that's that. And this looks pretty clean without doing the rest of it, so yeah, it's fine. So the cooler is pretty good design, because the copper pipes are here. The actual copper pipes are these here, and I can see through the entire assembly, so they're not too clogged up, so that's good. There's another vent here, but I think that's an intake with like this. And there's another thing about laptop, you get them. If you've got a bigger intake like this, you're good. I've seen a few with like half the size, and like, really. And worse, I've seen no hole at the bottom. But this is what you want to keep clean, because it goes into here and then exhausts here. That's why if you go on carpet and that, it just blocks it, and it overheats fast. So that's that, and then we simply just reverse the process of putting it all back together. So yeah, give it a ideal to keep this area clean where the fan is, to keep it dust. I've done it so many times a few, that's it. And then you just put it all back together. Remember to hook all your connectors back on. Some are tight pushing like these. That went under the board. Yeah, make sure you put all connectors back in, especially if it's important ones, because the worst thing you want to do is put it together and it don't work and you found out you've put a worse cable in wrong, or I've got to hook the power back up, so yeah. So that's that. That one. Takes idea to keep it all together and make sure it doesn't wobble around and get caught when you put it all back together. And then just push all the sides and you hear it all click. That one's still wobbly, but yeah, it will be done when it's tightened down. So that's that, and just put all the connectors back in. So some have latches, so you open the latch, put it into it disappears, and then click the latch in, give it a wiggle, and that's it. Do all the connectors. So let's put this back together. So that's that, and then like it says on here, that remove. It says remove 2 fillets and 2 fillets, but they didn't say there's a third one that holds the case on in the manual, because there's actually 3 you got to remove. So it caused me to stop, but to realise there's another one here. They said remove this, but they didn't say this one. So that's saying something to add, or yeah. So service manuals can sometimes be wrong on their instructions, but if you get older one, it's even easier to take apart because you don't have to. There's videos as well show you how to do it as well, but yeah, that's why I'm not going to view full on this, because there's no point, because people you see online have better vids, but I'm just showing this because I like to do it. And then put 2. So I'm just trying to figure this. What does it say 2 8s on those? Oh, 2.5 times 8, so the standard size twit. Sorry, I just sometimes do it there, so I'll put these back in. This one that goes into the top half. Okay, so checking to make sure I can see the live view in the corner. The software's pretty good, but in case you look at my own feed and see it's working. It's good here, but so far it's going fine. So that's that. Eventually I get a camera to give close-ups, but this is like what I have for now. Or I could just do it without showing anything. So that's that. That's that. Turn it over and put all the screws back in for this here. Basically you just go in reverse when you put stuff back together. That's the thing I always do. I always just taking stuff apart and putting it back together to fix it. I've always done that. It's, most of the time you can easily fix a few things by replacing a few parts, but there's some these days you can't do anymore. But yeah. Always done this where I've built stuff or do some stuff, so yeah. In. This happens sometimes when things just fall in, but yeah, they do put in weird spots. Like I say, this is the first time I've seen this type of work with the hex screw to remove, but silly, it's too silly to do this. Like I say, these are standoffs. Most PCs have standoffs, but this is ridiculous on a laptop. Oh, well, that's what they did. I can see why it was supposed to be designed to put something on it, and they never put the board in for it. So I don't know why they've left these in. Which is pretty stupid. But anyway, it's me just grumbling about this. Okay, they're in for now. Put the 9 back in. Most of the time the screws don't go in any order, but some are long and some are narrow, so you have to remember which ones go where, so you don't strip anything or break anything. You know when the short one doesn't go in because it'll keep spinning. The long one's normally used to hold in monitors or certain stuff. And remember to tighten these as possible. Don't tighten them too hard, otherwise you could break the case. These are pretty good since they're metal things, but you want to make sure it's tough enough. There you go. And most of these are normally got either blue or red well, you know, the garnets the factory puts into prevent them from coming out. I forgot what the name is, but Loctite, yeah. And then wait there just to prevent vibration of them removing. So that's that. Like I say, I do start a game stream as well soon, so I'll do that as well. So maybe just stuff like this. So next is to put the display back on. Get this back. Make sure the cables are not caught anyway. Go back onto 2 pins here and here, and then that is good there. It's good that they actually have this all together still. And there's just a lot of the same screws, which is good. Let's put this back on. Yeah, this is one way of doing it, is put it against yourself. But these are a lot lighter than the older ones I've had. The other type I did was thick, old style. This is still an old style, it's still got a drive at the bottom, but a lot thinner bezel. That's why they've got thinner brackets and they. But yeah, it's just one single bracket here and here. Some of them are old style around here. I've actually got that laptop somewhere, and I'll probably show you. I'll probably strip that down one time to show you how old they are. It's even older than this. There's no point in preparing anymore. I think it was an old Toshiba, but yeah. So that's that there. These are tight, but not too tight. You're going to break them off the stand. And then you just put all the cables back in. So I'm going to put. So you put all the cables back in as before, so they go back through the specific channels where they go in. So this is the antennas. There's always 2, one main auxiliary, and they go wrap around the actual display. And if it's a Bluetooth, it's the same thing. It does the same thing. It wraps around the display as well. And that goes under there. That goes there. And that goes around that metal part. And then this gets fed through this tiny hole here. Lightly grab it the other side and put it back, and then put these into the channels. Like so. Stick it back down. That's so. That's so. So that's the Wi-Fi antenna. So needs to go back on. Now they normally white goes on number 2 and black goes on number 1. There's actually, I've labelled it and marked it, but I don't think there's any order these go in, but both need to be on. That goes back into this channel, that goes back into this channel there, and they just snap on. There's 2 little holes on the antenna, so you just clip on. These haven't changed over the years, so yeah, that's good. And that's it. So that's the Wi-Fi antenna put back in. That'll go down with the case down, but like I say, this probably was used for a Bluetooth adapter. And like I say, it has risen, so there's 2 hex under here as well. Don't know why you need to remove those. That's what I wanted. So we just got to put all of the connectors back in on the board from this. So this is the webcam. So that goes in there. That goes in there. That goes in there. And it just clips into a socket. So some things just plug in. That's that. That's that in. The microphone, which is sort of weirdly under the board here. So this goes into this part here. It's like a marker board here with a switch. No, remember, don't force these because they could break easy. So that's it. That's in. That's the mic. And then the VGA goes. Then the display port goes back onto this own little. Be careful of this because if you break it, you could damage the entire system. Well, you won't be able to use the display again unless you get a new cable, but yeah. So be careful of this because it supplies power and the display for this. So this is a unique one. So clips in, snaps in, that's it. It's in. Then use something to prise it in, be very gentle. That's it, it's a bit thick cable, so yeah. There you go, so that's all flushed in. Make sure this is 100% in because this is what drives your display. Power and all that lot, so yeah. So that's the display back on. And then you've got to put the keyboard back on. So when you put the keyboard back on, you first of all recommend just to put the cable back in first because it's going to be difficult once you remove it. So that goes under a little, very big one. You can't miss it. So it goes under. And when I started doing this, I was pretty afraid taking out the power because of these things, but I got used to them over time and how they work. So yeah. You can break a ribbon if you force it out, but normally on clips and stuff, so you should always make sure they go in correctly. You normally go in because when you put the 2 latches in, oops, no, that's wrong. And this clip's flimsy because it just broke out. Cheapy clip there. I see how this one worked. It's supposed to be like that, and it's supposed to go. I see now. Sorry, this one's a bit of it's causing a problem because it's the clip broke out. I see what this does now. Excuse me. I've got to make sure this goes in right because this is the only bit that holds on the keyboard. Don't ask. So I'm turning it around for a minute to figure this out. Contacts. I've seen this one before. It's all just. That's why one is snap. So that's how that works. So the clip goes over. Zoo insertion minus video. Stay in. Okay, because you've got damaged clip that holds it in, so. Boing. No, don't come out again. Jeez, this is the worst one to put. I've seen this before, and it's a pain to put back in. No, I missed the entire slot. Wow, this keyboard's a pain. I've seen this before, and I've never seen another one. Jesus, bloody hell. How do you work? So I'm just trying to figure this out because I've never seen a keyboard connect like this before. Stays in, otherwise we'll have trouble getting it out again. I'll take that. Oops. Okay, no, that's right. Should find out when it goes back together. If it works, if not, I have to do this again. What a funky way to get that off. Push it down, go back in there. Is that the right place actually? See what the keyboard is. Okay. And then the actual faceplate with the LED goes back on. Another force switch LED, so that goes into this little socket. Forcing a switch and boy, I would have been run into that. Someone would have had to put this together. This is just like a grip. This one. That's it until the white marker. That's it. Let's slam this on. The actual this bezel back on the top. This was on. Just need the three screws that came out of it. Another grey one. Another little silver one here. And these two, which went into the two arrows. That's what 2 hours take me out first. Okay, that's done. Okay, so what I need to do now is put the door back on here, so I don't need to do this anymore. Wait a minute, that way. And here's on one way. Put that on. Refit the optical drive, only goes in one way. Slides in and then put its screw back in. And put in this drive, it's blank, so it won't do anything. Make sure it's all right. Get this back in. Just see, now there's a tab that goes in this way. 2 tabs that go in this direction, and it just sits on. Some of you screw in screws, but this holds it in. So then put this back in, doing that, and then put the screw in here, and the screw in here. Chunky label. So that's it. So that's the laptop back together. Make sure everything works. Battery back in. Screws in. So that's all done already. So I need to just get the power supply, which is under here. Go to one place. Blue light here tells me it's got power to it, and there's a LED here that tells me it's got power. So if it says right, if I've got it right, it should turn on again. Green, blue light is on. Feel the cooling fan. Display works, so it's all fitted correctly, and it will not do anything because it will pick up no hard drive. Yep, it says the operating system not found because it's for blank drives and needs a new drive. This kind of recovery disk, so you can put the recovery in and do that, but I'm not going to bother with this because it's a Vista. Check the keyboard works by holding down the Control Alt and delete to make sure. Make sure the keyboard works. The keyboard's not working, so that means I have to take the keyboard off and find out what's causing that. I don't think I know what it is. Okay, the keyboard's not working. That's due to the fact that I had a little connector. So I have to figure that out. So take power out, take the battery connector up. And all we need to do is just take the screws out again for the keyboard and just the little clip at the top because it's not doing anything, just to make sure that the connector's working. Could be simply just moved and I put the keyboard in, but yeah, I've never seen anything like that before. It's annoying. The rest of the laptop works, but that's the only thing that doesn't want to work, so I need to just make sure it's put in right. This can happen. So I need to take the belt off. Take the LED off again. Let's see, there's a clip here. Oops, missed a screw. There's that one there. Let's see what's going on here. Ah, the thing popped out again. Stupid. That's interesting. Anyways, let's get this thing back in. Stupid old bloody. That's that plastic little thing I just had. Zero force connection. Huh. It goes in that way, so that's pretty. Where are the contacts on this? So wet the mic. Yes, it keeps popping up every time I move it up. Because I think the tab snapped off. Okay, I think I'll just get that sorted out. There's a way to get that. see if this works. Never had to do this before with an actor, but okay. I've never seen him do this before. For now, okay, I've got that back in. Got the stupid thing back in this little connector back in. That's it. Right. I'm not going to put any screws in at the moment. I'm just going to make sure the keyboard works before I put them in, so I don't keep taking key screws out. I'm not going to put the battery in for now. Stupid things. I made it simple. That it. it's not going back into the... and this went upside down. No. Designed this. That's like a bloody... Well. Oh, I see now. There's a bloody fucking what? Who did that? hang on. So that's how that fucking thing works. Sorry my language, I just found out what this little clip does. Let's put it underneath the... Oh dear, who designed this? Bastards. Language is bad at the moment because I've just been spending I don't know how many minutes on this thing. I found out straight away that this connector on the motherboard is got a stupid connector for the keyboard. Which I don't see often, so it's a good thing, but the downside is I've got to try and put it in without it popping off. So that's in. Let's see, no, that was a pain in the backside. They don't come like that anymore. Looks like it's working. Some keys are working, some keys are not working. Yeah, boy. So it goes under that part there. So I think it goes under that. Well, I won't know until I run a diagnostic, but yeah, looks like so far it's okay. Bear with me for a minute, let's see if this thing is working. No, like this. Right, I don't. Space or don't. They don't work with this function. Control. Yep. Yeah. That worked. That's a stupid keyboard connector. Otherwise, ones I've come across. Okay, so that's fine. Okay, that took a while, but that's the keyboard back in. I don't know, it's a weird connector to put in. So I've got everything, so I could put it all back together now, but that's it, yeah. Oops, nothing there. Yeah, so set. Jeez. So yeah. So got that. Put this on one more time. So many behind. Force on connectors and everything else on this laptop. Jeez. This don't come often. Don't find these type of connectors anymore. That's good. But to get on and off all the time. 0 force connection. Right. That's my camera rambling, but right. So keyboard's working again. Reconnect on that. And me putting the thing on the wrong place. But anyways, it's just the way it works. But it's working because I just ran a keyboard tester. Which actually will show you that one time with that software. Because it'd be handy when you're doing stuff like this to make sure everything's working. Okay, that's not popping back on, so it must be saying. What they didn't do it first time, but oh well. Yeah, must have. Okay, so they're all back together. So the laptop's not back together. Just doing this because we need to get a bit of connect. Right. Battery back in. Okay, then that goes into there like so, and that should like that. Oh, about the keyboard. So that's the system now back. So if I moved it up now. So missing operating system. If I do the Control Delete and then reboot. Do this, figure out what the key is. Do start check. Do enter setup. So press the F10 key to enter setup. So that's the information of this laptop. And all the keys work. It's good. So it's a AMD Athlon 64-2 TK57. That's the model of this. It runs on 1.9 GHz dual core, and it's got 2 gigs of RAM. That's basically all the information here. So, and it's. So yeah, that's all the general here. Well, I have to stop stream now because I've got to go, but hopefully later on tonight I can do the operating system on this and also update the OS on this. I'm sorry, BIOS, because it needs one. So I'll show that later on, but this took a bit longer because of this connector, otherwise it would be done by now. So okay, so hopefully I can show that tonight. Like I say, these are always available, but show you how sometimes it's difficult to do some stuff. So okay, so I'll probably check it later if I stream. Okay.